What's going on, guys? It's Tanner with Trade Thrive, and I want to talk to you about leadership in your business, motivating your employees, and getting everyone on the same page to ultimately achieve the big goal, which is to be successful in business. And there's a lot of you out there who started your contracting business really because you had a really horrible boss or somebody didn't treat you right and didn't recognize your talents, your abilities, and your skills, and you said, you know what, forget all this, I'm starting my own business. There's a lot of you that have started your business that way. And there's also a lot of you who have started your business without any management experience. You don't really know how to motivate employees. You don't really get it. And that's okay, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this here, so you can grab some of these tools I'm going to share with you to motivate your employees and to keep you in business for a long time. No one wants to work for somebody that doesn't appreciate them. So we're going to start there. We're going to start with gratitude. We're going to start with appreciation, and I really want you to also think about past experiences with managers, past experience with bosses that didn't appreciate you. And essentially, appreciation is the cheapest form of currency that you can be giving your employees. Now, there's obviously employees that don't care about appreciation, but let me tell you something, everyone cares about appreciation, especially when it comes to them working for their boss and trying to do a good job. And especially, you have to recognize that is the easiest way to keep people engaged, keep people interested, and most importantly, keep them around. The best employees, guys, are the ones that leave because they don't feel appreciated for what they do. And you have to be aware of what it is that people are doing above and beyond. You have to be aware of someone doing something out of the norm for your customer. Let me give you an example. I went to the job yesterday, and one of my guys was walking through with the customer, and they were just having a conversation, and he went above and beyond and said, you know what, I'm going to take care of this for you. It was this little thing that needed to be taken care of, and you could just see her go, really? And it was just so cool because he didn't have to do that. The job was closing out, and I just pulled him aside and I said, you know what, man, thanks so much for doing that, man. That really made her day. And whether he needed that or not, to me it needed to be said that, hey, I recognize this, I appreciate this. There was another example. I went to another job, and I know you guys know where the hinges are on a door, and the lady's like, yeah, we don't want to put the door back on it, so can you just fill the holes? And I'm thinking that the guys are just going to fill the screw holes, and that's really all to be expected. I really wasn't thinking anything more than that. So when we went back to look at the job, the guys on the team actually put some Bondo and some putty and actually filled the entire hinge insert, and made it look like one piece, and it just looked immaculate. It looked professional. That wasn't something that I even expected. It wasn't something that the homeowner expected. And what I did was I picked up the phone right away. I called them and I said, hey, thank you so much for doing that. You did not have to do that, but it just made the experience that much better for our homeowner. I just want to let you know I appreciate you for doing that. And I'm the owner of the business. I don't have to say thank you. I pay these guys to do their job. But for me, that's something that just almost needs to be done, because I don't want them to stop going above and beyond. I don't want them to stop doing things that really separate us from the competition. I really don't want them to stop doing things that they know is right, but if they feel they're not going to get appreciated for it, they're not going to do it. And I don't want that. And if all I have to do is make sure that I'm recognizing it and saying thank you, then you know what, I'll do it all day, yesterday, tomorrow, and forever. Because that is what separates us, is that customer care. And you'll find that in our reviews is what people say, is that we went above and beyond, and I don't want that to stop. So appreciation, guys. If you're a business owner, if you're a manager, if you're a leader in your organization, it's about appreciation, and you should get comfortable with appreciating. Now, there's certain managers that just don't want to do this. They don't feel it's necessary. There's certain business owners that show absolutely no appreciation for you going above and beyond. How did that make you feel? It made you feel like what you were doing was worthless. It made you feel like the person you're trying to impress or the person that you're working for could care less. But really, the way that they see it is, it's actually something that should motivate you as opposed to encourage you. So they see it as you're kind of chasing their appreciation, or if they give you appreciation, they're afraid that you're going to stop doing the things that they appreciated you for. But that is not the case, because really, I know for a fact when I was an employee, I went above and beyond, and I did all these things, and I made my manager look good, and I didn't get any appreciation. And guess what? I went ahead and I started my own business, and that's the end of that story. So appreciation is number one, guys. Number two, I'm talking about empathy here, guys. We know that life happens, right? We know that things happen in life that we can't control. And in most cases, our employees have a lot of stuff going on in their life, okay? And that's just the reality of the game. You have got to understand this to the point where you can't let what's going on in their life affect you to the point where, you just have a zero tolerance for the things going on in their life. And I think that it's important to obviously recognize if someone is taking advantage of that and, put your foot down in that specific case, but you'll be able to tell if someone's being genuine. If they have to leave the job early to take care of something at home, if they have an appointment they have to take, their kid to the next day, and that job needs to be done. That there's a deadline that needs to be taken care of. That you could lose out on profit. You have got to have empathy, and you have to make sure that you are placing whatever's going on in their life, at least giving it the credit that it's due and giving them the opportunity to take care of it. And here's why. What good is it to have someone working on the job that knows they need to be somewhere else? Okay, because you have to recognize that if somebody has to go take care of an appointment, or if somebody has to leave early to take care of something going on in their life, okay, how valuable are they really at the job? Probably not that valuable. They're probably not going to get much done. They're probably going to be upset. So you should recognize this and use it to your advantage and say, you know what, man, go take care of that. It's cool. Knowing that person is going to be thankful, they're going to be happy, and more importantly, they're going to come back the next day with a different level of appreciation for the place that they work. And just like that, guys, you've won someone over and you created an even better atmosphere. So the last part of this, guys, and I could go on forever, but I really just want to keep it short. I'm going to 3 tools today that are going to help you really take your team to the next level, guys. And this last one is the one that I think many contractors struggle with the most, and that is the need to be right. Okay, guys, you don't need to be right. And I think that a lot of people feel as though if they give someone else the power in terms of being right, then they feel like they lose their authority. I'm the first one to admit to everyone, including my customers, including my teammates, including everyone, I don't know all the answers. Please share with me how to do this project. Please share with me your idea on what we need to do to get this done. And when I approach things like that, it creates just this environment of just like, a level playing field, okay? No one is scared to speak up, right? Because I'm more concerned about doing the job the right way. I don't care if my manager has the answer. I don't care if the prep guy has the answer on what they feel like would be the right way to do the job, because there's only one way, there's 2 ways to do anything, the right way and the wrong way. And the right way can come from anybody. It doesn't have to be the manager's way. It doesn't have to be my way. There's been so many times where I had this idea of how I wanted the job to go. I said, you know what? I want you guys to do this. I want this to be done. I want this to be done. My guys will tell you. I'll come in there and I'll be all excited. I'll be like, all right, this needs to be done first. I'll be like, no, Tanner, that's not how we're going to do it. We need to do this first. We need to do this first. We need to do this first and then this. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. All right, let's do that. And for an employer, for a manager under me, that level of understanding from their boss is like, okay, cool. I can start thinking this way and know that my thoughts and how my approach to these projects are going to be heard. And when they're heard, that means that I'm going to get better at making these decisions. So I want them to practice, making their own decisions and being independent of me. I don't want to be the guy that comes in and tells everyone what to do. That's not who I want to be, and I don't know all the answers anyway, so that wouldn't do my company any good. It actually benefits me more to allow people to make their own decisions, allow people to come up with their own plan, allow people to, talk amongst themselves and figure out what the best way to do the job is than it does for me to be right. I don't care about being right. So don't worry about being right. Don't think of it as something that, gives power to your team over you, or there's none of that, guys. You don't need to be right. And if you've ever worked for somebody that has this constant need to be right, more or less, we'll call it ego, has this ego that has to be the alpha, that has to be right, obviously you're probably watching this because you probably started your own business. So, hey, I appreciate you guys listening to this. My name's Tanner. This is Trade Thrive, and I am thankful that you're here spending your time with me. If you liked any of this, check out the podcast. If you're not already listening to the podcast, check it out. It's available on the Spotify, and it's available on Apple. You guys are great. Talk to you later.